Hit that ball.
Rendica Radio with your host, Genty.
It must be the ass.
Yeah, fucking Jen is a warlord.
And part of how I deal with the stress is, how do I make it relatable? I think stress is all mental. And if you think about it, right, there's no way to really quantify it as a physical thing. It might have physical impact on your body, but stress is all in your mind. It doesn't actually exist outside of yourself. And once you acknowledge that it's in your mind and it's all within you, you then have to accept that you can kind of control your own body and control stress. You might not be able to change the situation outside of yourself, but you can change how you react to it and how you think about it. Is that it's okay to be in stressful situations, and obviously sometimes we don't want that to happen, but it does. But the quicker you can take the stress and convert it to an actual plan or an actual game or an actual an action, the quicker you don't let stress kind of marinate. And that has been the biggest trick over all these years of business, of life, of being in stressful times. It's acknowledging this sucks. It's acknowledging, damn, this is stressful. So what the fuck am I going to do about it? What am I going to do about it? So if it's business, right, and I'm stressed out because we're not making enough numbers or enough sales at the end of the month, I could stress all I want about it. Or I could go on the offensive and I can say, what do I do to get sales? Did I talk about the product? Did I hit all social media? Did I tell my story again? Did I answer every DM? Did I go hand-to-hand combat with every single one of our customers in comments on Instagram? And if I can't answer yes to everything I just mentioned now, well, then I'm not doing enough. Immediately, I'm not doing enough. And so rather than being controlled by stress, I use it as a way to actually convert it into a positive energy of what I put back out into the universe and into the world, namely through, many times, Rebel 8. Stress is just wasted time and it doesn't change reality. Simple as that. And stress is all relative. And this is another thing that I've kind of dealt with, is that I look at some peers or friends, not let's say peers, because peers would be people that are in the streetwear or clothing game or business. But let me just talk about some of my friends that are not in the same industry at all. Some of my friends get very stressed out about things that I perceive as not stressful at all. And it has me understanding that stress is all relative. So just because you would view something as not stressful to someone else doesn't mean that it's not as impactful to their life or debilitating to their life as it is to you. It's all relative to them, and it's all based on what you've been conditioned to understand. To get me stressed out 16 years into business is probably a lot more difficult than how I was maybe year 1, year 2, year 3, etc. So stress is all relative, and I think it's being able to look outside of yourself, and it's being able to understand that everybody deals with stress differently. Everybody has different lives and different temperaments and different abilities to control everything. And I think it's just being understanding of other people's feelings and being empathetic to other people's feelings. I think that's what empathy is, and I've kind of had some difficulty understanding what empathy is or putting it into words because I'm a little OCD. Some would say I'm potentially a little bit on the spectrum. So, and for most of my time, I just stay in my own world, and I live very much in my own mind and my own head. So I've had to come to an understanding of how do I survive when my brain runs faster than you could ever possibly imagine. Like, I can daydream and go on crazy tangents. Like, I'm just talking about stress right now, and my mind literally has me in a plane right now. Even though I'm sitting in downtown LA, in my car, in a parking lot on a roof, I could literally transform my brain right now to being in Punta Mita on the beach, sipping mezcal, listening to the ocean, and seeing a pelican dive in and grab a fish as I smile and smoke a delicious cigar. That's crazy, right? But that's how fast my mind goes there. Then back to the fact that I'm doing a podcast and I probably shouldn't ramble this much. But that's just where my mind is. So because I'm so stuck in my own mind, in my own world, and we all are stuck in our own thoughts and are in our own minds, it's so critical that you learn to love yourself and live with yourself and learn how to deal with yourself. We all are kind of fucked up inside. And we're fucked up mainly because other people over the years have fucked us up. But it's about how you navigate with the cards you were dealt and play the best hand you possibly can play. And I only bring up this podcast and right now about stress is because it's real as fuck. And I go through kind of a roller coaster of waves of emotions, from incredible highs of feeling powerful and feeling successful and feeling that I have full control over my destiny and everything. And then other times I'm fear-stricken and I retreat. And the difference is, though, is that I felt that many years ago. But now with stress or fear or that stuff, those emotions last a fraction of a second. I've now realized that with fear, it never prevents me from moving forward. I don't fucking freeze in fear. I could be scared, but somehow my legs keep marching. Somehow I keep fighting and keep moving forward. I don't let stress or fear control me because I've done enough mental prep to weather many storms, and now I'm built to last a lot more storms. Acknowledge that stress exists. Don't try not to be stressed out, because you might stress yourself out being stressed out or trying to not be stressed out. Take the feeling of stress, own it, and do your best to compartmentalize it, keep it a short amount of time, and figure out what's the action to get out of this stressful situation, and then convert the energy, put all of it into moving forward in a positive way. And what you will find is that you will feel stronger and more powerful than ever. And when stress starts getting heavier and heavier, you never let it build up where it hurts you. You never let it build up where it becomes and it cripples you. You learn how to accept it and say, and now we move forward, and you'll be a better person for it. Stress is the silent killer. Get it out of your life immediately. There's no time for stress. And with that, I'm going to head back into the office and do more of what I do, and hopefully you guys enjoy the rest of your day. And until next time, thank you so much for listening. I hope this gets better in time. Thanks so much. Bye.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to Ramble Per Radio. I am your host, Jen T. Twitter and Instagram at GenT523. What's good, motherfuckers? Oh, I'm so glad to talk to you guys. Driving your car, doing the dishes, making some food, boning your wife, going on your boyfriend. Hey, stop what you're doing. Put up a chair. And listen up now. Oh, guess what? It's Pride! That's right. June is Pride Month. And for those of you who don't know what Pride is and have been living under a fucking rock, this is the month where all the gays, all the straights, all the trans, all the bis, all the lesbians, everybody gets together and parties for a month straight in every city and every town. We having Pride, people. Let's go. So happy motherfucking Pride. That's right, fam. So Pride is the coolest time of the year where everybody gets together to celebrate. And in case you don't know, your dear host, Rambo is hella gay. I like to party. I was gay and I like to party. So this is a time where we go out and we celebrate. Some people party way too much. I try to party a little bit responsibly. But the most important thing about Pride is that there is visibility amongst the gay community, that people have an understanding that, hey, we're here, we're queer, we're harmless, we're not gonna hurt you. All you straight people are scared of gay people. Look, we won't bother you. If you bother us, we won't bother you. That's how it goes, right? Come on. The point is to bring visibility to the queer community, and all the prides are important, but this whole thing started from Stonewall. The Stonewall riots, a series of spontaneous demonstrations by the LGBT community against the police that took place in June 28th of 1969 at the Stonewall Inn in Greenwich Village in Manhattan in New York City. This was the gay liberation movement, the beginning. This is what started this whole pride, is these Stonewall riots. And basically what it was that cops, you weren't allowed to be gay, to the point where cops would harass other gay people. They would come into the bars in the Greenwich Village area and they would arrest people for holding hands or kissing. It was a fucking disaster. And finally, some gay Americans took a stand and said, fuck that. We're gonna make out. We're gonna make sweet love to each other. We don't care if we go to jail. And so a bunch of people just came all up over in the Stonewall Inn, started making out and fighting back with the police. It was pretty fucking crazy. The gay community at the time in the 60s were like, no, we're not doing anything wrong. We're harmless. We love who we love. Why are you fucking messing with us, crazy ass police? Why are you messing with us, anti-gay groups? This is bullshit. What a crazy time. Stonewall riots. So in case you didn't know, that's what started this whole pride thing. After the Stonewall riots, gays and lesbians in New York City faced gender, race, class, and generational obstacles to becoming a cohesive community. Within 6 months of the riots, 2 gay activist organizations were formed in New York City, concentrating on tactics. There were articles in newspapers established to promote rights or bring to attention for rights for gays and lesbians. And within that year, in 1970, on June 28th, 1970, the first Gay Pride Parade took place in New York City, Los Angeles, San Francisco, and Chicago. Just so you know why we do these things. It's not just a party, it's not just a hookup, even though that's what a lot of people do now. What the important thing is that we remember, or at least that I do, remember all of the gay men and women who gave up the right for me to even talk about this on the computer, for me to even hold hands with a lovely lady down the street, which, by the way, is still kind of a sketchy thing now. Can you believe this in 2019? We'll get to that in a minute with my next story. But these men and women, they fought with the police. They fought with anti-gay groups. They fought for visibility, and that's what Pride is all about, is about queer visibility. We just want to live. We want the same rights as any other human being. We just want to live and love who we love. And that's it. And if you don't agree with that, then cool. That's your deal. But just know that we're still going to be here, and we're still going to be queer. Come on. So some news reports recently about these 2 yokels or 3 guys in Boston who want to do a straight pride parade because they're pissed off about gay pride. It's like, oh my gosh, come on. Honestly, why? Listen, you're straight males. You get to do straight things 24/7. You don't have to worry about walking down the street and getting bashed because you're holding hands with your wife, or you don't have to worry about getting bashed because you're holding hands with your husband or your boyfriend if you're straight. But gay people do. It just doesn't make sense. It's quite disgusting. The people wanting this gay pride or straight parade, the people wanting this straight parade clearly have never had to worry about getting yelled at, spat at, had stuff thrown at them, been threatened with violence because of who they love. They haven't had laws passed against them. It's crazy. So it's really fucking insensitive. I'm not, going to be like one of this is outrage culture. Again, you're free to have your opinion. You're free to want a straight pride parade, but understand why gay people have gay pride. This is why. Because we're looking for visibility. We're trying to show you that you don't need to bash us. You don't need to pass laws to stop us from loving who we love. We can coexist together. That's the whole point of pride, is to coexist, to have visibility. I just want to touch on one of the other topics that's going around right now is the 2 lesbians that got gay bashed on the bus this past weekend, and for not kissing, actually. So they were riding the bus, and a couple of young men approached them and asked them to kiss, and they said no, and so they got bashed. They got beat up. One of the girls got her nose broken. The other lady got her jaw broken, and of course they were robbed. But the whole thing was these 4 men wanted these 2 gay ladies to kiss. They figured out that they were together and they wanted them to kiss. And because they didn't kiss in front of them, they got gay bashed. So it's like, okay, you're damned if you do, damned if you don't. If you hold hands, you're going to bash them. If they kiss, you're going to bash them. If they don't kiss, you're going to bash them. Hey, do me a favor. Get a fucking hobby, bro. What is this? Why are you bothering gay people? It's fucking weird. The amount of effort you spent gay bashing this person, you could have done a million other different things. It just makes absolutely no sense to me. So it's, and the comments from people have been tremendous. The comments like, these women have brought it upon themselves. That's what you get for being gay. No wonder, this is my favorite one. No wonder my brother still can't find a woman to marry. All of the girls are taken by other girls. What kind of bullshit generalization is that? No, maybe your brother's an ugly ass motherfucker and he's too picky. Either that or he keeps picking gay ladies. Go fuck yourself. Jog off. And the last one, don't do that in public. Now this is what happens when you get for being silly. It's like, oh my God. Ugh, why are people so vile? Why are people so disgusting? These 2 women were simply riding the bus, minding their own business, and they got gay bashed. Your dear host, Rambopra, has had this similar situation. I had some fuckstick called me all kinds of names under the sun and then threatened physical violence. And then, of course, he and his friend tried to jump me. And, of course, that didn't end up very well for he and his friend. Apparently, this young man did not like the fact that I was hanging around his sister and knew that I was gay. I mean, you could tell. I was never out when I was younger, if you will. But you could tell. I mean, I dressed hella gay, that's for sure. You could tell I was definitely not feminine. So, ran into a situation with my friend's brother, and he proceeded to call me a dyke and this, that, and the other. And he was threatening to get a bat, and he was going to fucking find me and do all kinds of shit to me. And I was like, well, whatever, dude. Do your thing. And my first reaction was to be scared, and then I was just like, no, fuck that. Like, this guy's got a problem with me because I'm gay. I don't even like his sister. We're friends. You're tripping out. A few weeks later, I guess he caught me hanging around with his sister, air quotes, and proceeded to bring his little homie and get me while I was walking, pulled out of the car and proceeded to try and jump me. Let me tell you, friends and family, I fought my fucking ass off. I managed to get away. I managed to fucking get away. But let me tell you, that was a super scary moment in my life. I've had several, but that was just one of them. That was just one of the many scary moments in my life where 2 people just jump out of a car and say, hey, dyke, fuck you. And boom, we're fighting. And you're just walking, minding your own business. Like, what the fuck's going on? Don't know if this person has a knife. Don't know if this person has a gun or some sort of weapon. So, I just did the best I could to protect myself and somehow managed to get away from them. But it was a horrible situation. I still remained friends with this person, and she is mortified that her brother and his friend tried to gay bash me while I was walking somewhere, begged me not to press charges. And I did not. But I learned a valuable lesson, and that valuable lesson is God bless martial arts. If it wasn't for me training in martial arts since I was 10 years old, because for the first 3 years before that, I got my ass beat. The first fight I ever was in, I was 7 years old. 7 years old, get my ass beat at school, and nobody did a damn thing about it. Nobody, not the teachers, not the principal, nobody. And so after 3 years of getting my ass beat, my mom was just like, fine, fuck this. The school's not going to protect you, so now you need to learn how to protect yourself. That's it. And so thank God that I've got that martial arts training of at least self-defense. I mean, now I know how to box a little bit. I can kickbox. My jiu-jitsu is getting good. Learning those things is the reason why I learned martial arts is to protect myself from psychotic people. People have been starting fights with me for years, whether it's because I'm black or it's because I'm gay or it's because I'm a woman. I've had somebody at a bar just be like, hey, fuck you, lady, and try and start a fight with me. Luckily, I possess the verbal skills to get out of that situation and calm it down. But if I needed to protect myself, I could do that. And I'm grateful that I have that training because people are fucking crazy. And I hate that it has to get to that. You know, I love UFC. I love boxing. I don't want to have to fight somebody. That is the honest to God truth. I do not want to have to fight somebody because God forbid I hit somebody and they fall back and they hit their head and they bust their head open on the concrete and die, or they get irreversible brain damage and I get sued or I go to jail. That's not what I want. But if I'm being attacked, I got to protect myself, goddammit. So I don't want to have to take things there. I understand the consequences of it. That's why I do not want to have to take things there. So if I can talk my way out of a situation, I will. But this situation with these girls getting jumped by these guys on the bus, that is the reason why I take martial arts, because I can protect myself. I would at least be able to fight off 2, maybe not 4, but at least 2. That is the shit that I think about before I leave my house. Am I going to have a fight with someone today? Are they going to try and fight me because I look like a dyke? Are they going to try and fight me because I'm black? Are they going to fight me because I'm a lady? Well, this is the strangest thing. Half the time people can't tell if I'm a man or a woman to begin with. It's just fucking crazy. We just live in a crazy world, and I want to be prepared, and that's the shit that keeps me going to the gym, keeps me trying to get fit and in shape, is because if I never know the moment I step out of my house, some psychopath's gonna try me. That's just it. And I want to make sure if somebody does try and fight me, I am fully prepared to A, talk my way out of it, B, fight my way out of it, or C, fight to the death. Those are my 3 options. I know that sounds crazy, but those are my 3 options when I leave my house in the morning. Every day. What will happen? I pray to God nothing will happen, but these are my 3 options. So just understand what your queer friend, your bestie, your sister, your sister, friend, Rambopra, Ellis Fam, Wolf Knives member, Les McGruber. That's my life. That's my day to day. Will somebody try me? Is this the day somebody will try me? And for those of you listening who do know me, they know that would be a terrible idea. Because I'm ready to light some motherfuckers up. Or what does Coral say from the Real World Road Rules? She's like, I don't wrestle, I beat bitches up. Oh, shit. Oh, man. But, I just want to bring to your attention before I jump off the pride thing. Queer visibility is very important. It's very serious, and I want those who do not understand what it's like to be queer or are getting a glimpse into the queer community that, we are all the same. We're human. We bleed. It's not a gay straight thing. It's just all about love. And if you could understand that as a straight person, you love your significant other, just as a gay person, we love our significant other, and that's all we want to do. We just want to love who we want to love. If we want to start a family, we want to start a family, but we just want to show the world that we're not bad people. There, of course, are bad seeds in every group. It doesn't matter where you go, but for the most part, we're fucking harmless. Honest to God. We don't want any trouble. We just want to coexist. That's all that we want. We should be able to coexist as human. Equal rights for all. Whether you're straight, you're gay, trans, bi, lesbian, all of these silly labels that we have to identify with, unfortunately, but we should be able as human beings to coexist and love who you want to love. The end. I want to talk about the beginning subject that I mentioned, and that was the stress. Stress. I heard that podcast. That is from the Rebel 8 podcast. That's one of my, I would say, top 5, hands down, clothes that I buy, Rebel 8. And they're a tiny little company that started out in San Francisco and then just blew the fuck up in 2003. And it's all run by this guy. His name's Joshy D. And he's such a cool guy. I've met him a couple of times, had a little chat with him. Awesome guy. Awesome guy. So Joshy has this small company and he started it with $500 living in his studio apartment in San Francisco back in 2003. And now it's just this worldwide, massively global company that have done collaborations with Travis Barker's clothing company, Famous Stars and Straps, Vans, bunch of different clothing streetwear collaborations. And so what I love about Joshy is he loves the business of streetwear so much that if you follow him on Twitter, or on Snapchat, or on Instagram, or on Facebook, or even the podcast, he's always giving out tips about what you can do either personally or for business. And this week on his podcast, or last week, he talked about stress and how it's completely manageable. We forget, we get overwhelmed with stress. A lot of people do. When I get overwhelmed with stress, my immune system shuts down and I actually get sick. So this only happens maybe 1 or 2 times a year. So I know that if I stress myself out, if I worry about something so much, literally I get physically ill. So knowing that about myself, I have tried the best that I can to try and manage my stress, just like Joshy was saying. If you can pinpoint what it is and figure out that it's not going to change the scenario, and the energy that you spend worrying about it and creating anxiety or stressing yourself out about it is not good. It's the silent killer. So knowing that you have an option to manage your stress, it's all relative. So I thought that was really cool that I played that in the beginning of the show, and I hope that you enjoyed that, and maybe you need to go back. I encourage you to hit rewind and go back to the beginning of the show and listen to it again if you need to. Stress is manageable. It's all relative. If you waste time stressing out about things that need to be getting done, or things aren't getting done, or you're not where you think you need to be, you're just wasting time. You're not putting forth the effort into getting out of that stress. You need to take that energy you would spend wasting it stressing out. Instead, you need to take that energy and figure out a solution. How can you fix it? How can you get out of the situation? My biggest thing right now has been my debt. And I finally figured out a solution to that. And now that I know that it's manageable now, I'm not stressed out about it. I'm really not stressed out about it. I'm not worried about it now. And that's been a relief, because it's been 6 years of stressing out about managing money. And so now, on my list of quote unquote stressful things that I'm trying to manage is my career path. What do I want to do next? Obviously, my goals are to not work for anybody but myself anymore. Maybe a few people, but I want to work for, if I do decide to work for somebody, that it would be a smaller company. Companies with 20 or less people are more likely to treat their employees better, knowing that if I decide to stay in the corporation wheel, if you will, or pattern, then I would like to work for a smaller company. That would be a goal. But for the most part, I'm trying to figure out a way how I can work for myself. I like being my own boss. I like taking care of tasks right away. I simply despise trying to take care of a task and having to wait for somebody else. If I want to wait, I want to wait on me. I should be the holdup, not somebody else. So I hate having to wait for other people to get on board with ideas or solutions to fix a problem, like with the whole stress thing. So many people around me get all stressed out about absolutely nothing, and quite frankly, make the situation worse. What I see is I see the problem and I do my best to try and come up with solutions to it. Like, for example, I would love to do stand-up and I'm stressed out about it. But what can I do about it? Well, you can try your best to manage your schedule to figure out a day to get to Los Angeles and do your stand-up. That's the solution. So to sit and worry about it and get frustrated is a waste of time, a waste of energy. I know this now. Second thing is trying to figure out if I want to go into doing a club DJ thing or going into weddings. The money is better in weddings. The stress is quote unquote higher, meaning there's more on the line as far as this is somebody's big day. They want to hear a certain style of music and they don't want you to mess that up because they'll remember it forever. Versus being a club DJ is you play top 40 hits. You can kind of play what you want. The stress level is slightly lower. I would say the only disadvantage is that you may or may not play a song that people will dance to as frequently, but you have a little bit more freedom, but there's less money in that. The first thing that I was researching was, okay, so you want to do paid DJ gigs? Awesome. Doesn't matter if you want to do clubs or weddings. You need to be able to do a 3-hour set, 3 hours of mixing, no mistakes. If you can do 3 hours of mixing, then you're ready to book a gig. So I can't last no more than maybe 5 to 10 minutes without making a mistake, let alone 3 hours. So I sat there and stressed out about it. And then I went, no, you don't need to do that. What you need to do is you need to practice at mixing so that way you don't make the mistakes. And if you do, then you start the timer over and you practice and you keep going until you make the time. Now, will I be shooting for 3 hours out the gate? No, because I know how progress works. And 3 hours, if I can't go 5 minutes without making a mistake and I keep resetting the timer, 3 hours is going to take a long time. So my thought was, here's a solution to that. Rather than trying to hit 3 hours when you know you're going to make a mistake in 5 minutes, or there's a potential that you could make a mistake in 5 minutes and you have to restart the timer, why don't I shoot for just 1 hour? Why don't I shoot for an hour? So half the time, an hour, start with 1 hour, where I can mix without making any mistakes. So knowing that has made it easier for me to practice. But before, when I saw that 3-hour number, I was like, fuck this. I can't even last 5 minutes. And I wouldn't practice. And then when I would get back to it, I would be rusty. My timing would be off. And I'm like, damn it. If I would have stayed consistent with this and just did an hour a day, my chops, I would have already made progress sooner to that hour than me being discouraged and not practicing at all. So instead of me wasting time and stressing out about it, I'm coming up with solutions to fixing the problem. And the third thing, career-wise, that I'm trying to shoot for is either potentially working for Speed of Sport or training at, or being a teacher at the gym that I train at now. The gym, the training at Speed of Sport, it's basically this gym that is like a sports complex that helps athletes from all over the world of all kinds of backgrounds. So anything from UFC to surfing to golf. This is like a very prestigious gym. And every so many months, they offer certification on how they train people because they do it different from everybody else. That's why they're the number one place to go to from all over the world. And I've never had the money to get this certification done because it's expensive. And now that I don't have to waste money on credit cards, I can actually start saving to take the training for this class and get certified. But for many years, I stressed out. I said, that's the thing that I want to do. But, I don't look like a trainer, so I shouldn't even try to do this. And rather than, I've been spending many years stressing out about it. The solution that I came up with October was pretty simple. Just focus on getting your weight down. Focus on getting your weight down. Focus on getting your debt cleared up. Once you start a savings, you can start putting it towards getting your certification from Speed of Sport, from this gym. And so now that I'm down almost 30 pounds, I'm slowly making progress toward that goal. And also, I'm not having to spend so much money with all of this credit card stuff. So I'm making my way toward that goal. And I wish that I wouldn't have stressed myself out about it so much back then. So those have been my top 3 things that have been on my plate. And I've been stressing myself out about it. But hearing Joshy's podcast reminded me that if you prioritize solutions to the problem, you don't need to stress out about it. You don't need to let that stress affect you. You shouldn't let that stress affect you. You need to get something done. Think of solutions. Instead of sitting there getting discouraged or getting upset, think of solutions on how to manage that stress. That's going to be the key to making progress toward a goal, or the key to just feeling better in general, because we know how stress is. We know how it can be a burden. And you don't want that burden on your plate. You need that energy to focus on completing the task or getting to what you need to get done. So, in the simplest of terms, stress is not your friend. Stress can be used to be your motivator to getting things done. Checking that to-do list, crossing things off. Whenever you feel stressed from now on, I want you to think about what it is you're stressed out about. Ask yourself some questions. 1, can I do anything about it right this very second? If you answer yes, then think of solutions about it. If you answer no, then don't worry about it. Number 2, if you answered yes to solutions, think of ways to fixing it, or think of ways of how you can tackle that particular problem. And you'll see, instead of wasting that energy stressing out, you'll have energy to think of ways on how to make it better or how to fix it. I want to talk to you guys about this whole thing. I know I'm a little late to the game on this, but that Anthony Joshua, Andy Ruiz fight was amazing. I am a Joshua fan, of course. I'm not familiar with Andy Ruiz. What made me become a fan of Andy Ruiz, not that I'm leaving Anthony Joshua. Anthony Joshua's my guy. What made me be a fan was the fact that this guy was such an underdog. Nobody believed that this guy was going to win other than Andy and his family. And when I say nobody believed, he was 11-1 underdog for betting odds. So that means 11-1 odds are, if you put $1,000 on 11-1 odds, if you win, you will get $10,000 back. $10,000 back. The biggest thing is that Anthony Joshua looks like he is a British god. He's like 6'4", 6'6", jacked, abs on top of abs, and an incredible smile, and just a gentleman. And then you see Andy Ruiz, who has just got this pot belly, who looks like he just stumbled upon these gloves. He's not really sure what's going on, but he gets the job done. What I liked was that showed some of these fat shamers, some of these haters that, you know, there's some fatleets out there, and I'm one of those. Just because we don't have abs or whatever, doesn't mean we don't know how to fight, or doesn't mean we don't know how to bench press or run. When I go to the gym, I run. Do I run slow? Yeah, I run slow, but I run continuously. I don't stop. I can run 3 miles without stopping. Not too many 243-pound people can say that. I can run 3 miles without stopping at the gym. Now, outside on the street, go fuck yourself. I will last about a block, and that's just because it fucking hurts my joints, okay? But for the most part, Andy Ruiz hung in there with Anthony Joshua and gave him the fatleet experience and knocked him out and won, and I'm so happy for him. As for Anthony Joshua, of course, it's back to the drawing board. I fucking hate his manager, Eddie Hearn. He's a piece of shit. But Andy Ruiz, I commend him. I'm happy for him. And it just goes to show some people out there who fat shame people. You don't know. You really don't know what some of us big people are capable of. Some of us Patty McFatties, we got the juice. down. I got the juice. I got the juice. Yeah, I got the juice. That's right. Oh man, Ruiz took home a prize of $7 million, and not to mention, plus the bets he made on himself and the rest of his family members making bets. So I salute Andy Ruiz Jr. He is the man, and he can represent us Patty McFatties any day of the week. And for those of you listening who don't think us fatleets got it, think again, motherfuckers, think again. We got it. But it reminded me of my fight with Nippleopolis, watching that fight, because a lot of people, mostly everybody except for Andy's family, counted out Andy. And when I went into that fight at Ellis Mania, most people counted me out, with the exception of a few people. Most motherfuckers were like, nah, you ain't winning that fight. Team Nippleopolis, I got Nippleopolis shirts on. Who are you? Jen, you're nice, but we're rooting for Amy. And then bell rings, ding ding. The winner, Jen. All of a sudden, all y'all Nippleopolis shirts went away. I remember showing up motherfucking Thursday, and all y'all were wearing Nippleopolis shirts come Sunday. Not a single one. Not a single one, motherfuckers. Sugar. Oh, all y'all haters, all y'all doubters. It felt good to shut the haters up, because honestly, I didn't think I was gonna win the way that and we're cool now, we're homies now, but the way that Eddie and Amy, and obviously Eddie is her trainer, so he's gotta say, you know, he's gotta break me down to make her feel good. So from the moment this fight was booked, there was a smirk on Eddie's face, like, and I remember walking by them at the racetrack. So after this fight was booked and we're all just kind of chatty at the go-karts, Eddie was like, "That's who you're fighting?" And he kind of just laughed, and I was just like, "Oh no, motherfucker. Oh no, you do not know Riverside." I'm from Riverside, motherfucker. I know how to fight, but not like that. I mean, I know how to street fight at the time. So I was just like, well, it's a boxing fight. Anything can happen. But at the time, Nippleopolis and Mr. Eddie Jackson himself, and I'm sure Ellis even, the general vibe was I was not going to win. And I went into training like I was not going to win. But I just knew in the back of my mind, I said, look, I'm probably going to lose on volume, but I know that she's not going to knock me out. I knew she wasn't going to knock me out. I just knew that I just knew I couldn't get knocked out. that was my saving grace, but I figured I would just lose on points. And so going into that fight, which for those of you who've heard this story before, you can fast forward, but this is my shit, okay? This is what I'm going to tell some 20-something when I'm in the nursing home, this story, okay? Because I don't know if I'll probably have kids or whatever, but when I'm in the nursing home telling them the story, this is what I'm going to say, all right? So leave me alone. But, so going into this fight, a few months out at the racetrack, I got Eddie and Nippleopolis laughing at me. Like, oh, you're going to beat her. I got Ellis and Eddie and Nippleopolis all training together. So I'm like, this does not look good. I see who Team Ellis is, and it ain't me. So I was just like, fuck it. Everybody's against me. Okay, whatever. No big deal. And I'm going to this event. Not the only person that I actually do know at this event is the person I'm fighting. And it was like 3 other people I knew at the time. So I was like, oh shit, this sucks. But my Patty McFaddy was like, hey, listen, you're not going to win this fight, but you're not going to get your ass beat. So just give it everything you got and shock the world, baby. And as soon as that bell rang, not only did I shock the world, I shocked my motherfucking self. I didn't know I could do that. And neither did Ellis, neither did Eddie, and neither did Nippleopolis. Or the rest of the people at Ellis Mania. Except for, shout out to AZ Red Dragon and Kelly AZ. They were like, you got this, motherfucker, you got this. They were like pumping me up. I was like, oh shit, all right. They're trying to give me pointers what to do the night before. And I was just like, all right. I mean, I'll take whatever I can get. And, I'm probably going to lose this fight. So maybe you shouldn't waste your time telling me, give me any tips or anything. And then who else did I know? I knew the Boognish, Little Miss Ellis, and his ex, Stephanie, at the time. I knew them. But I think... it doesn't matter. I think at the time they were still rooting for Nippleopolis, but it doesn't matter. And then who else did I know? Ooh, I knew Butterballs. That was it. That was it. That's it. That's all I knew. Butterballs, Little Miss Ellis, Stephanie, and John and Kelly from Arizona. That's it. I was like, okay. Here we go. And then after that, I shocked the world, motherfuckers. Shocked the world. Everybody was surprised. I was surprised. And then people were happy. And I was like, damn. All right, this is cool. So I totally feel Andy Ruiz, his excitement, the relief that it's over. And then, of course, cashing in on yourself. If I could have bet on myself at that fight, I would have. So kudos to Andy Ruiz on that upset, and they're probably going to do a rematch, and he's going to make even more money. Whether he wins or loses to Anthony Joshua, he'll probably lose, but he'll get $50 million out of it. So kudos to Anthony Ruiz Jr., who is from, I believe, El Centro. So he's from the Inland Empire, Southern California, motherfuckers. Andy Ruiz Jr., the first Mexican heavyweight champion. I had a great time at Rachel's 40th birthday party. That's right, Butterball's wife had a birthday party and had the best time. Her theme was Golden Girls, and I love Golden Girls. Thank you for being a friend. Boom. Travel around the world and back again. And your heart is true. You're a pal in a confidant. Look, if there's one thing that can unite gays and straights, it's the Golden Girls. Golden Girls or Will and Grace. Oh, I love Golden Girls. It was just such a funny show, and man, oh man, even when I was a wee young mannish lady, I wanted to bone the heck out of Rose. Yeah. Hola, mami. Mucho gusto. Man, Rose was hot. Oh, damn it. I love Golden Girls. And a happy 40th, happy belated 40th to Rachel. got to see some of the Ellis fam on Wolf Knives and ran into some oldie but goodies. Emily SD was good, girl. I hate to fucking do this. Generally, I like to mind my own motherfucking business. I really do, because what usually comes out of spilling the tea, if you will, or talking about other people's business, they usually kill the messenger, and that messenger is me, and I don't like that. So I usually try to keep to myself, and when the situation unravels, then they go, oh, man, this happened, and I was like, yeah, I knew, but I couldn't say anything because I didn't want to get in trouble. So, but this situation, I have to speak on this. I have to fucking say something, because I don't know how much longer I can take. I don't know how much longer I can be silent. But a dear friend of mine who is at this party, I'm not going to name names because y'all are going to know what's up. Maybe you can go back in the pictures and look, but a dear friend of mine was at this party and happened to mention a certain situation. And I said, no. Oh, no, mijo. No. It's a trap. You remember that from Star Wars when the general in the front and they're traveling into the trap for the Death Star, and you go, it's a trap. I was like, oh no, fam, it's a trap. There is a fraud amongst us, amongst the Ellis fam, amongst the Wolf Knives. This individual that I'm speaking about has no connection to anything whatsoever. This individual has infiltrated the group, infiltrated the fam, and is planting poisonous fruit amongst certain members of Ellis fam, amongst the Wolf Knives. And it breaks my heart to see this, because according to my dear friend, I'm not going to reveal what she said, but in so many words, that this particular person is a fraud and is indeed playing other people in Ellis fam, or other people in the Wolf Knives. And when I say playing, that this person is potentially conning people into free stuff or things of that nature, or stealing people's time, if you will, saying that they will do X, Y, and Z, and they have no intention of doing that. The fact that it's multiple people that are linked into this one particular person, it breaks my heart. So I had to break the news to my friend that this individual was indeed not real. Well, actually, this individual is real, but is playing a game, and it's not just with my friend, but with multiple members of the Ellis fam. Now, of course, this is a little bit inside, so bear with me if you're not in the Ellis fam or Wolf Knives or Red Dragons. This is a little bit inside, but I'm sure if you're smart, you can put two and two together and figure out what exactly is going on, and that somebody amongst this group, a certain individual, is playing games with people's time, is playing games with people's money, is playing games with people's emotions and feelings. And what I don't like is people who motherfucking play games. If you want to play checkers, you want to play Monopoly, even if you want to play tag, that is a joined effort. You are letting this person know, hey, I want to sit down and play Connect 4 with you. Great, let's play Connect 4. Hey, I want to sit down and play checkers with you. Hey, great, awesome. You want to play Uno? Yeah, let's play Uno. Okay, but when you start messing with people's personal feelings, when you start playing people's feelings, when you start playing with people's money, I got a motherfucking problem with it. I really do. It's fucking dishonest. It's downright psycho. And it's not okay. If you're in the know, if you can kind of gather, if it sounds familiar, it is what it is. But I'm not going to name this person's name, but it upsets me when I see this individual playing people and it's a bummer because in a roundabout way, it's a bummer. People are getting hurt, whether it's on a surface level or whether it's deeper. I think this particular individual is a crazy person. It's also been confirmed from my friend, who's amazing, who's been around. She knows what's up. She has had altercations with this person on the World Wide Web and has confirmed to me that indeed is a fraudulent person, is taking advantage of people's time and money and resources, and should not be spoken to, should be disregarded. So if I could put out a word of warning to some friends of mine, please be careful. I know that a lot of us were in this Ellis Fam thing, Red Dragons, Wolf Knives. We're all in this little club, this neat little family thing. But what do we know about family trees? There's always one bad branch. And this particular individual is indeed the bad branch that is trying to poison the tree. And I don't like that. And what do we know about manly lesbians? What do we know about dykey lesbians? We love power tools. So I'm going to get my saw out and remove this branch from the family tree. God. All I can do is pass on the word. I'm not going to at this person. I hope with your detective skills, you can kind of guess. If you can't, maybe if you DM me, maybe I'll tell you, maybe I won't. I probably shouldn't say that. I'll still leave that in there, but I'm probably not going to tell you. Unless you're the person involved, then I will review the information. Otherwise, don't bother. If you DM me and I can't tell you, then that means you're out of the... You're not involved in the situation. But if you DM me and you are involved in the situation, then I will tell you what is up. I will give you the tea, and then I will let you decide if you want to involve yourself with this person or not. But it really breaks my heart that this person is doing this because, excuse me, on the surface level, it appears that they have good intentions, but their intentions are to take advantage of the connections, the time, and the resources of Ellis Fam. This person is taking advantage of Ellis Fam. And it's gotta fucking stop. At some point, it's gotta fucking stop. So, if you listen to this show and you are curious to know who this rato is, because I'm not rato, but I may or may not spill the tea. If you are involved in this situation, then I will let you know because I feel it is a duty as your friend, as your dear host, Rambopra, to reveal this person's true identity. And if you aren't involved in corresponding with this person or you're in contact with this person, I think that you should know. Now, if you're not, and you just want to know because you're just nosy, then I can't tell you because that's rato behavior. But if I see that there is evidence that you are indeed involved with this rato, then I will tell you, get the fuck away. Run! So shout out to the homegirl. She is awesome. She is the coolest, and I'm happy to call her a friend and Ellis Fam. So with that being said, with that garbage, that filth out of the way, this week I had just about the worst infection in my leg. I got the HIV in my leg. This is crazy. I'm getting STDs without being with anybody. No, in all seriousness, I got bit by mosquitoes at Rachel's party there the other day. This is why I do not go outside between the hours of 5 p.m. and 8 p.m., okay? Because your dear host, Rambopra, is allergic to mosquitoes. These goddamn mozzies. So I got bit about 8 times and my leg swelled up about twice the size of a normal human's leg. And then I got all these nasty fever blisters from the actual bite itself, and they filled up with pus and fluid, and my leg was on fire. Felt like my leg was barbecuing 24/7 for about, 7 days. 7 fucking days. Anytime I stepped, put pressure on my leg, it would burn. It was fucking horrible. Absolutely fucking miserable. Ugh. And the best part was I still had to wear my work uniform, and I could not wear shorts. So my jeans were just digging away into my cuts, and I was bleeding all over the place and leaking, and it was a fucking nightmare. At one point I had like 8 or 10 different band-aids on my leg. It was terrible. It was just physically draining and emotionally draining, and it took away from my training, and I just tried to box in class and I sucked. I was like, God damn it. Mozzies, you goddamn Mozzies, piss off. It was a nightmare. So please, if you love me dearly, do not invite me outside between the hours of 5 p.m. and 8 p.m. because I'm assuming you want me to die of cellulitis. Because that's what fucking happened. I nearly almost got cellulitis, or I probably did. I was too stubborn to go to the doctor. And then I was told, because I was too stubborn to go to the doctor, that I could get staph in my blood and die. And I told my friend who is in the medical profession, that's pretty fucking metal. Blood poisoning. So anyway, I am much better. I still have a few little spotty McSpots, but it appears that there is no fluid left, so it is trying to scab over. I know, you're probably disgusted. You're eating your food. You're like, what the fuck? I do not want to hear about this. It's over. Story over. My leg is better, goddammit. But a lesson learned. You damn mozzies, don't invite me anywhere with these damn mozzies. And I got a cool solution from my friend Tammy, and that is to plant lemon balm. So if you love me dearly and you want me to hang out with you outside, plant a bunch of lemon balm around me, or give me a lemon balm plant to carry, or some lemon balm oil. Apparently, lemon balm repels mosquitoes. So I'm going to buy stock in lemon balm and buy up every single fucking lemon balm plant at Home Depot that there is. Because I hate these damn mozzies. It's fucking mozzies. I can't stand it. So, lesson learned. If you have problems with mosquitoes or just fucking hate them because they are the scum of the earth, there's literally no purpose to a mosquito. Please plant lemon balm. You're welcome. Oh, plant the lemon balm around your house, and you can also have the lemon balm plants inside. Just make sure they get a little bit of sun, a little bit of water. You're welcome. I want to talk to you guys about my favorite TV show, The Young Offenders. Sucks that they only have one season, but it's a fucking great show. I highly recommend. It's basically the story about 2 poor British kids and the shenanigans that they get up to, robbing stores, hooking up with people, doing all kinds of crazy stuff. Like one of the episodes, they found out that one of the fish in the supermarket, one of the tunas, was worth $50,000 a pound, a rare tuna. So these fuckers tried to steal it, not realizing that the thing was over almost 1,000 pounds and wouldn't fit in the shopping cart. And every time they tried to steal it, the fucking cart would tip over. It was hilarious. It was basically 20 minutes of them trying to figure out how to get this 1,000-pound tuna into the shopping cart so they could steal it. I highly recommend, if you can find it online, The Young Offenders. And then Killing Eve. I told you guys about Killing Eve a few episodes back, a couple months ago back, and now that's all everybody's talking about. You're welcome. You heard it here first on Rambopa Radio. Killing motherfucking Eve is my favorite show. It's kind of like Dexter, but with a lady, but she's not a cop. She just likes to kill people just because she likes to kill people. And then the chick from Grey's Anatomy, the Asian doctor, is like investigating her, and it's kind of like she's investigating her and trying to be her friend, and it's like really crazy. I highly recommend Killing Eve. I finally watched the season finale of Killing Eve, and season 2, what a fucking cliffhanger. I highly recommend Killing Eve. That is on BBC America, or BBC, what is it over in England? I think it's on BBC 2 or 3, I think. Definitely BBC America, for sure, if you live in the States. Highly recommend Killing Eve and The Young Offenders. That's it. The Young Offenders TV show is on BBC Three if you live in England, or if you illegally download it like I did, then it's on your computer. I gotta tell you guys about my own Twitter troll. You know you've made it when you have your own Twitter troll at More Ronnie, my personal favorite Twitter troll. Once again, this is like once a month or every 2 months. He likes to respond to my tweets with men only. I'm like, what are you fucking talking about, bro? Nobody knows you. Nobody knows who the fuck you are. Nobody cares that you like men or not. That's your thing. Do you, boo-boo? I love vagina. As I have told him, I said, hey, that's cool if you like men. I'm fine with that. I never had a problem with that. Never said I did. I watch Queer as Folk. I love me some gay men. I love the gay family. That's my brethren. That's my brethren. I love me gay brothers and sisters because I am one. And this motherfucker is like, because I told one gay joke in March, mind you, he is still hitting me up about that gay joke. Man only. Man only. I'm one of these leather daddies. Man only. Cool. If you're one of these dudes who loves men, who likes to suck dick, steak in a dick suck, cool. That's your thing. Do your thing, boo-boo. Nobody's stopping you. I'm not stopping you. I like vagina. Do yourself a favor and stay in your lane. Swerve, bitch. Stay in your lane. Don't bother me with your bullshit. You like men. That's great. Awesome. But don't be one of those dudes who thinks men are better than women. That's fucking weird. You guys might be stronger upper body, but the lower body, women are built to push babies out their vagina. And I've watched it. Holy shit. I just came out of one. So you know a lady is strong if a fucking human being comes out of her vajayjay. So why the fuck are you messing with me, man? I feel like at Morani is one of these weirdos who lives in his mom's basement, who's like into gay men or something, which is cool, but wants to tell me about it is fucking weird. So the last tweet, when he was, again, for the third time, was man only. And I was like, whose man is this? Whose man is this? Who? Like, who the fuck are you, bro? I try to check the profile. I'm like, are you Ellis fan? What the fuck is this? What's going on? Maybe he thinks I'm Ellis because I have Ellis in my picture, my profile pic. I don't know if he's like trying to bone Ellis and he's talking to me or what the fuck's going on. I'm not sure, but this person seems to be a wee bit mentally unstable. And I would just like for at More Ronnie, if you listen to my show, which it sounds like you stalked my whole life on the boardwalk. If you listen to my show, man, hey, listen, it's cool. If you like dick, that's your thing. You're a dick writer. Woo! Yeah! Ronnie Moore, at Ronnie. More Ronnie loves dick. Good for fucking you, man. Nobody's stopping you. Write all the dick you want. Suck all the dick you want. I don't care. But Rambopra, your dear host Rambopra at GinT523, Twitter and Instagram, loves vagina, okay? Taco Tuesday. Woohoo! That's me. That's my holiday, okay? Don't bother me with your man shit. I like vagina. And don't try and stop me. Because if you do, we're going to have a problem. But my point is, love who you love. Love is love. Love who you love. Do your thing. Don't try and stop anybody from loving who they love. But it gets fucking weird when you try to like impose your will upon other people. Like at Morani, he is trying to impose his will that men only. I'm like, okay, what the fuck? Don't care. Or okay, what the fuck? I don't know you. Why are you tweeting me, a person you don't know, men only, to a lesbian? Don't be one of those gay haters who only likes other gay men. Or don't be one of those lesbians who only likes lesbians. I hate that shit. Fuck both of you guys, okay? We can love each other. It's all right. We don't have to sleep with each other. It's very clear. We have different tastes, but we can love each other. We can all come into love each other as one. Gay, straight, transgender, lesbian, bi, whatever the fuck. Love is love. Peace and love. Peace and love.
Peace and love. Peace and love.
And on that note, one more thing I just want to tell you about that's super gay. Women's World Cup is going on. Yeah! Which means there are 10 straight ladies and maybe 100 lesbians playing football in France. Ah oui, Pierre Escargot. The gay ladies are playing a football on the pitch. And my phone number is you can slide in their DMs at Genty523. Love me some gay ladies. Love me some Euro gay ladies. Love me some gay ladies who play soccer, aka football. Anywho, Women's World Cup is going on. I highly recommend. The games have been fucking awesome. Please, oh no. Did I get bit by a fucking mosquito again? No! Shit. All right, that means I got to wrap up this podcast immediately because apparently I'm fucking allergic and I just discovered I've been bit on my hand. Fuck. I just had a week of 8 mosquito bites and now I just got a new one. Fucking shit. All right, I must wrap this up, but please, if you got some time, watch the Women's World Cup. It is fucking amazing. The games have been great and the ladies are putting on a great show. I highly recommend. So let's jump to some sound clips before I die of anaphylactic shock. It is a fight between 4 white chicks and the boyfriends. They're all fighting in the street in Texas, and it's hilarious because one of them, the men start fighting, which, okay, go do your thing. But then the women try and get involved, and then they start fighting each other. Okay, but one of the girls brings out a bat. And what do we know when you bring a weapon to a fight? Never bring a weapon to a fight unless you're prepared to get hit by that very weapon if you lose it. And that's exactly what happened. Is this dumb bitch brought a bat to a fist fight, and the girl was like, put the bat down. Why'd you bring a bat? And she's like, no. And then the fucking other girl took it from her and used the bat on her. Sucks for you. But that's what she gets because she brought that bat to a fist fight. And then was like, no, don't use the bat on me. That's not fair. Like, no, bitch. You brought the bat. You were going to use it on the girl. And then now you're mad because the girl used it on you. But listen to this pandemonium. This is like White People Wednesday to the 10th degree. I love it. Here we go.
What's up? What's up? What's up? Put the bat down. Why? Put the bat down. What's up? Put the... Hey, bro. Hit me with the fucking bat. Hey, somebody get that... Why would you the fuck hit me with the bat? You got me fucked up. Bro, you nailed my bitch with that motherfucking bat. Don't fucking touch me with the bat. Don't touch her with that bat. Get the fuck out. Hey. I'm gonna nail your fucking bitch. Do not touch her with that bat. Hey, she's the one that brought it out. I don't care. Put it down. Drop it. You guys are stupid. Let me get that bat. Who is this? Beat that ass, Rachel. Let me get that bat. How about you fuck off? You better fuck off. You don't talk to adults like that. You got it? Your daughter shouldn't have brought it down. Give it to me. Bitch, you come up punching my boyfriend like you fucking hit me then, bitch.
Give me the bat. No, I'm not giving you the bat. And then she tried to swing on her and lost the bat. And you heard it. You heard that ping. That was the other girl grabbing the bat from her and then turning around and using the bat on her and hit her at least 2 or 3 times. I think she might have broken her arm because then she was like, oh, I was like, bitch. You got the bat brought on you. That's right, bitch. You tried to bring a bat to the fight, and then the bat ended up hitting you. What a dumb bitch. But the best part was the mom comes out like, don't you use that bat on my daughter. I'm like, no, bitch. Your daughter brought the bat to the fight. What kind of mom are you teaching your daughter to bring a bat to a fight? So she fucking deserved it. She got her ass beat. After they got rid of the bat, she got hit with three or four good unanswered punches. It was amazing. It was once again, another marvelous white people Wednesday in Texas as they beat the shit out of each other. It's pretty fucking crazy. Just 6 people going out at punching each other. Oh, and did you catch? You might have to rewind. Did you catch her using the N-word? Ugh. That was gross. No black people around. She's like, what's up? Yeah, nigga. Yeah, nigga. What? Not a black person in sight, and you guys are using the N-word? Aw, hell no. Get the fuck out of here with that shit. And finally, I must depart this here podcast because I can feel my hands starting to warm up and swell. I am currently, once again, dying from a mosquito bite. Fuck! Son of a bitch. I went out last night, but I went out at the hour of 9 o'clock thinking I was safe. But I just knew, I fucking knew, because the bar left the doors wide open. I was like, can you fucking shut the door? I'm deathly allergic to mosquitoes. Well, I'm not deathly allergic, but I fucking get the infection very quickly. Mosquitoes are not my friend. Damn mozzies. Before I put medicine on my hand, I have to tell you guys about one quick story, and that one quick story is sex with the world's fattest man was great. My former 1,000-pound partner preferred food to me, says X. Let me tell you something. This Patty McFatty, there is hope. There is hope for me. There might be some lovely lady out there who will love my Patty McFatty. This gave me hope. I read this article today about this dude who weighed 1,000 pounds and he still got a hottie with the body. How? How, Sway? How? You don't got the answers.
How, Sway? Take a few steps back.
You ain't got the answers, man. You ain't got the answers.
Food again. He was 1,000 pounds and then lost the weight and then preferred food over the girlfriend. What a terrible story. You're a Patty McFatty. You wait all your fucking life to finally score the big fish, a hottie with the body. And then you blow it. You keep eating the fucking food. Let me tell you something. I've realized as a member of the Patty McFatty Club, you got to get rid of the food if you want to get laid, okay? Just saying. You got to ditch the food. You got to ditch the food. If you want a hottie with the body, if you love food and you get a hottie with the body, you guys got to share the plate. Don't eat all of it and then her plate. Just eat half. Share. That way you can still lose weight, be in shape, and have a hottie with the body, just saying. But the point is, there is hope for me. My Patty McFatty still may have a shot of love, thanks to Pete in England, who weighed 1,000 pounds, people. He weighed 1,000 pounds and met his girlfriend, who became his fiance, she herself weighed about 112 pounds. And they made sweet love. Can you imagine? Can you imagine? A Patty McFatty and a hottie with a body. I know, stranger things have happened. She would have stayed with him, but he chose food over her. Oh, so sad. He lost the weight. He got down to 278 pounds, but then proceeded to start eating again. Ugh. You blew it. You blew it, Pete. Pete England. You blew it, man. You fucking blew it. But if your girl is single, is she seeing anybody? No, I won't do that. It's fucked up. But anyhow, the point is, that kind of gave me hope. I'm like, oh shit. You know, I struggle with self-love, if you will. I'm perfectly good at loving other people, but I struggle with self-love. So the fact that my dude Pete loved himself despite weighing 1,000 pounds and loved himself so much and had such high esteem that he scored a hottie with the body. Normally, some of these ladies that love the obese people aren't exactly hotties with bodies, but this chick is pretty steamy. I got a shot, fam. I still got a shot. And I want you listening to this. Maybe you don't have the body yachty. Maybe you're a part of Team Patty McFatty. You still got a shot. Never give up. Keep fighting the good fight. And that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to keep training hard. I'm going to keep watching what I eat. But at the same time, that there is a girl out there who will love me for me. That I got to start loving me for me myself. And that will attract a girl who will love me for me. Isn't that cool? Isn't that awesome? Revelations. Right here on Rambo Radio. And on that note, please like, share, and subscribe to Ramble Per Radio, RamblePerRadio.com before I die of this anaphylactic shock after this allergic reaction to this mosquito bite. Please subscribe to my show before I die. Hit the link, listen to the show, tell your friends, but only if they're cool. And of course, I am on the wonderful iTunes podcast because they have killed iTunes. It is now Apple Podcasts. You're welcome. And of course, if you cannot find anything on those particular avenues, just motherfucking go to rambleperradio.com. There will be a link on the front of my page that will direct you to my podcast. You're welcome. Thank you so much for listening. I love every single one of you motherfuckers, whether you love me or you hate me. This is Ramble Per Radio. And I thought I'd end the show with some Korean punk music. And it's two chicks from Korea doing punk music, their interpretation of American punk music. Here we go. This is Ramble Per Radio. I'm out.